We're back.
Welcome back, everyone, to depression-youarenot-alone.com. This episode is going to be a different episode than the ones we've done before because of the timing of things that happened. One thing that happened is John just got to our house a little while ago. He looks like he died 3 weeks ago and nobody told him. So I gave him a COVID test, and John's got COVID.
Yes.
First time, right?
Yeah.
First time. Shannon and I have never had it.
We're going to try to keep it that way.
Yeah. So he's wearing his mask and staying away from us best he can.
Nothing like having the Rona.
Yeah. You have a mask on, so it's hard to understand you.
This is an episode I'm doing today that I didn't want to do. This has been a rough week.
Yeah.
I slipped back to 20-something years of my life. I had extreme depression, and I was at the point of having those thoughts again of just ending it all. John doesn't even know. Shannon knew, of course, but I didn't want to tell John. Not that I was hiding anything. It's just I didn't want to burden him with that. And I had Shannon with me, so I mean, to the point where she wanted to call 911.
Yeah. I did. I mean, I didn't call, but I wanted to.
And I told you, you asked me, are you going to be okay, remember? And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I will. But it's going to take a little time. And it did. I think, started to feel better yesterday. I knew, this is the thing, knowing things is important. I've been down this road. Been down this road before, several times. So I knew what was happening. I knew the thoughts, I knew the feelings. I knew what I had to do. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. It wasn't easy.
No.
But I also, I think of someone going through this the first time. And what the results sometimes are. Too often, right?
I feel like you're talking really low.
Well, the other thing is, I also had a lot of anxiety today, and it went away. The thing is, when it goes away, you don't feel normal. You don't feel like, okay, the anxiety's gone, now I feel normal. No. I feel like somebody dropped a ton of bricks on me. I'm drained. Like I said, I did not want to do this episode because of the way I felt, because of what I went through, But I also then started to think this is the perfect time to do this episode. In hopes of helping other people. It's not, to be honest, not really helpful to me to be talking about this right now. But for people that have been down this road, or are going down this road, or are battling right now, to understand that it's not just you. I know it feels sometimes like, I said this before, you look around, everybody's happy, everybody's doing things, so it's just, the rest of the world is so happy and doing so well, and I feel this way. But it's not just you, it's many, many people, including me. Now, I did what I had said I've done in the past. In other episodes, I explained what I did. I tried to stay busy yesterday. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
I got up in the morning and I was looking for things to do. Looking for things. Cleaned the laundry room.
My gosh, you cleaned it for like an hour.
Which I hate doing. Vacuum up cat litter, or doing everything.
It was an hour.
I got cleaning that needs to be done.
But it came out, I have enough to do here, believe me. I can't even keep up. But as I say to other people, I've always said to distract your mind, to stay busy. That's what I did. I don't recommend it, and then I don't do it. That's what I did. A lot of thoughts went through my head. I found myself with a lot of thoughts going through my head, and I also caught myself sometimes just staring at things, quietly staring. Go from the mind just boom, 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 boom to blank and staring at nothing. I don't know if you noticed I was doing
Yeah, I
that.
saw you staring over at the jacuzzi.
I was staring at a lot of things here and there. I caught myself, though, and then I tried to distract myself and look at something else. It's things that happen that it's part of it. It is what it is. So I you got to fight it. You got to fight it with strategy, especially distracting your mind. Those thoughts started coming back to me of ending everything. I told you. If I'd have just stayed in bed staring at the ceiling, those thoughts would have continued, because I would have nothing to look at but a blank ceiling. So then those thoughts just grow, and they grow. So I tried to distract my mind. I also found myself in those old days, same thing. Of I wanted to get out of here. I wanted to get out of the house. Remember me telling you?
Yeah.
I need to
yeah.
go somewhere. And there was no place I wanted to go, but I also didn't want to be here. It's very frustrating. I think if we were in our old house, I probably would have gone to the park. Familiar with the
Well, we're
area.
new here, so you don't really know the
Yeah, exactly.
area where to go.
I'm more familiar with our area, right? I lived there 20 years. I probably would have gone to the park. I probably would have sat on the bench or walked a little bit around the park. I would have probably done that. But being new here, I don't know. I felt like I had no place to go, and I didn't want to be here either. I didn't want to be here not because of Shannon or because it's that feeling of I gotta change something. I gotta change something, and you don't know what to do. I also had the thoughts of I just turned 58 this month. And looking at I'm back to 20-something years ago, just like that. Just like that. Different forms of depression. I have severe clinical depression. That's why I've been fighting it my whole life. Again, I'll say this again for those that don't understand, that say I was depressed when my mom died, or this happened, that I was depressed for a year or two, but I got over it. Again, that's situational depression. It's serious as well. It's hurtful. But when you are in my shoes, and many of us, it's not based on a situation. It's part of your life. And sadly, many times it ends so many lives because it could be overwhelming. I've talked about these things in so many episodes about my history, talked about all that. I've talked about research, right? You have to research, you have to know. Well, you know what? I think that was what helped me. As I mentioned to you, I know what I have to do.
Yeah, you did say that.
I told Shannon, I know what I have to do.
You did.
I know what I have to do, and I did it. And it's not feeling fine the next day or 10 minutes later. It's a process. It takes days. It's like having a flu. Of course, just making a comparison over, gradually over time you feel better, and that's how it works. I'm not loaded on medication. I was years ago, got off of it. But I know things. I know things from past experiences. I know things from researching. I know from looking at patterns of my own. I know what worked because I failed so much as well. Because through the failures, you learn, right? I did this, that didn't work. I did this, that was even worse. I did that didn't work. So what you hope to do is you don't go back and do those things again, but then you do the things that did work. And for me, what does work especially with the experience under my belt, sadly, but it is what it is knowing what works, because it has. And it worked again. Again, I'm not saying this is what I do, it's easy, this is what you should do. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not easy. This hasn't been easy. Even now, I don't feel well. I'm not 100%. My energy level is way down. My head is off. I'm not having those thoughts of ending my life now, but I'm having other thoughts sometimes that aren't so pleasant, so I try to distract myself. Shannon distracted me today, put on Ugly Betty.
Ah, it's a good one to distract.
If anybody's ever watched that.
I know it's old, but we're new to it.
I had never watched it when it was
When it's
current, when it was new, but I'm enjoying it, and it's a nice thing that, visually looking at something, smiling, laughing, it's a distraction. The other option is to sit there and think of bad thoughts, those bad thoughts grow. I have said this before. So this probably, I don't know how many episodes ago, we've done so many, that depression has all the patience in the world. It's, I've said this, remember me saying this? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like it's an enemy that's extremely tactical. All the patience in the world. Just waiting for you to slip. And when people, sadly, so many have a weak moment, and they've crashed and depression won. I was concerned. I told you I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And you asked me, do what? Remember? And I said, life. That was this week.
Mm-hmm.
For those that watch our videos, you may tell by looking at me and the way I'm speaking, the way, I don't have, my energy is very, very low.
Upbeat.
This is why I didn't want to do this, but I thought this is the right time to do this. So those that watch the videos can see the difference in me. This is fresh. I've talked about things from 20-something years ago, 2 years ago, and 5 years ago. I'm talking about this week, just a few days ago. I thought about not talking about this too and thinking, you know what? Let me just deal with my problem. I'm not going to, why am I doing this? Again, that's what depression does as well. Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Trying to convince you to take things away, for you to take things away from yourself to where you end up with nothing. With nothing. Take away the pleasures in your life. You don't want to go for a walk. No, you don't want to go dancing, or you don't want to paint. You don't want to do that. You don't, like so many people with depression have told me in the past, things they used to love doing that they don't do anymore, and they don't know why. They don't know why they don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's what depression does. If my goal is to destroy you, well, obviously, if you do things you enjoy, if you're around friends and family you love, that's going to make my battle tougher. That's depression thinking, right? It's going to make it tougher for me to get you. So pick away. Just pick things away from you. Take. Convince you to give up on this, give up on that, to where you're at a point, there's nothing left for me. There's nothing left in my life. And then the other thoughts come of, well, there's a solution, and that's just end it. To end this hurt, this pain. So that's why I'm doing this. For other people to know, you can get out of this. Now, I sincerely hope if you are battling depression that you're getting help. You're getting professional help. Maybe you need to be on medication. Whatever it takes, I hope you're doing it, and if you're not, please do. please get help. And for family or friends, please get that person help. I isolated myself from Shannon as well. But I did it too because I'm working through things. I'm trying to work through things. But for someone, when this is new to them and they start isolating themselves, they may not be working through anything. They're gradually, it's chipping away, to where there could be nothing left in the tank. I felt like that today. I felt like I had nothing in the tank. Not today, I'm sorry. This week, a few days ago. I felt I had nothing in the tank. I think I even said that. Mm-hmm. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said something similar to
I said something like that, because that's how I felt. I try to remember, too, what I said to Shannon, and what I said to myself and my thoughts. I know a lot of people believe in when something in the past was unpleasant, try to forget about it, right? Get it out of your mind, put it behind you, forget about it. Had I done that, I probably would not be here right now. Because I do look back, I do remember. And by remembering, I was able to work through this. I remember I had the thoughts a few days ago of ending my life again. But I worked through it because of the history, because of the past, and because of looking back. Again, knowing what didn't work and trying to not do that again, and knowing what did work and trying to do that. I told Shannon, too, that I'm looking into go ahead joining a gym and trying to, and I said this during going through this. It's just I know I have to change my thoughts. Like even now I'm a little dizzy. My head's a little off. It's not just it's a mental condition, of course, but it affects you physically. When I'm walking around the house and stumbling like I'm intoxicated. I'm not intoxicated, it's just my head's off. I'm drained, mentally, emotionally drained. And that's what it does. How much time do we have left?
17 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes.
Huh?
3 minutes.
No, we've got 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Well, we're going to come back in a few minutes, just for a few more minutes, because I want to talk about how other people, what they could be doing when they have someone like me or someone going through something that similar to me, what they can do to help them. We've talked many times about, getting them professional help. Of course. But there are other things, and there are don't do's. Nobody knows. This is so complicated for another person to deal with. I understand that. I've always understood that. How can this be simple?
I don't think it can be simple.
How can it be simple for a spouse or a child or a parent or partners to know what to do? It's and sometimes you feel like you're losing that person. You're not enjoying their company anymore. You don't want to say anything because you think they're pissed off, or it's just so complicated. It's so complicated. But again, I did not want to do this, but I knew I had to, because I, quite a while back, sat on our porch and I said to John and I said to Shannon, this is what I want to do. Do you guys want to do this? Support me in this? And they both said yes. I get no pleasure out of sitting here opening up my life to whoever, what I'm going through. It doesn't give me any pleasure. As a matter of fact, I feel like crap right now. But I've always said if I can help one person, not save the world, not change the world, just help one person to know that, hey, I go through that, I've been through that, or a friend or a family member thinking or realizing that, wait a minute, my son or my daughter or my partner doesn't tell me these things. I know they're battling, right? Mm-hmm. They're suffering, but they don't verbalize anything to me. I don't know what they're going through. Well, maybe it's some of these things that I'm telling you that I've gone through, that I go through, that I just went through. And maybe it could open up conversation. Maybe you can go to them and say, hey, are you feeling, tell me what you're feeling. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling that? Because you've heard it from someone else first. We'll be back in a split second. I got to get something to drink, and we're just going to be back for a few minutes. This is going to be a short episode. Again, because I'm struggling a little bit here, a little bit off, and I apologize. And now I probably have COVID from John.
Oh my God! Stop saying that. We'll be back in a few. We're back.
Hi, welcome back. Shannon isn't saying much. It's John. John's all COVID
He's
up.
sick.
I think he picked up more COVID during the break.
Oh my God.
He's going to the
urgent care.
urgent care from here,
Yeah.
and we have our
Our
sanitizer, and we'll be spraying the house and walking around in hazmat suits too for a few days, because we've never had it. As I think I mentioned that. So I was talking about how difficult it is for others around someone battling severe depression on what to do, because a lot of times people don't know what to do. Of course, we've also always talked about getting them professional help, because oftentimes people won't do it for themselves. First place, they're not in a state of mind sometimes to,
Yeah.
to do anything, especially once they've isolated themselves and they're on a downward trend. If you see someone on that downward trend, it's a constant downward trend. Eventually, there's a bottom. But you can come out of this, just like a person that's battling a drug addiction or something. Yeah, it's tough, but with help and support, they can get through it and live better lives. And that's what you want for people you care about. Actually, this should be what you want for everyone, right? For everybody. But there are some do's. Again, like I said, get them help. Talk to them. However, don't treat them like they're helpless either. I'm a 50-year-old man. I don't want to be treated like a child because I'm going through this. Not that nobody did, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want that, You can distract them. Spend time with them. Talk to them. Like Shannon did. Let's watch Ugly Betty. At first I'm thinking, okay, I don't think I want to watch this.
No, it's good.
And now I enjoy it, right? A distraction. Made me feel better. I want to watch the rest of them. I'm going to binge watch them now.
Yeah. We're good.
And for me right now, actually, it's a great thing to do that. But there are things we shouldn't do. It's something I want to say after this. If you know someone battles depression, panic attacks, I've had plenty of those, right? Mm-hmm. I've had plenty of those in my life. We don't want to cause chaos in their lives, right? Because do you want to trigger panic attacks? Do you want to do something that'll trigger depression when you know your friend or partner or whoever already is dealing with that, fighting that? Don't cause anxiety to them. But we do it, right? We're humans. We do this stuff. It's funny, you can be sitting on a park bench, let's say you're a smoker, and the person sits next to you, a complete stranger, right? And says to you, just out of the blue, you know what? I quit smoking. It's been 60 days. And if you're a smoker, you're not going to go, oh, really? Reach for your pack of cigarettes, light one up, and sit there having a conversation, blowing smoke in their face.
Yeah.
Right? You would know that's to a stranger. Yeah. You're not going to do it because it wouldn't be right.
Most people wouldn't do that.
Most people, I think.
Yeah, but some would.
But I think a decent person would say, "Oh well, I'm not going to light up in front of this person who's just telling me they just quit smoking, whatever time it was," or someone who says to you, "Listen, I recovering alcoholic, a total stranger, and I haven't had any alcohol in me, for 3 months, whatever time it is. Oh, congratulations. You don't pop a beer and sit there drinking a
Yeah.
beer in front of them.
Yeah.
And that's with a stranger that you don't have any emotional ties to, right? It's just, this wouldn't be right. So, in relationships, whether it's family, friends, whatever, you don't want to cause chaos that's unnecessary to stress that person out more. Now, you shouldn't do that with someone who's battling depression or anxiety or panic attacks, whatever. But you shouldn't do that with anybody else either. None of us should. I believe, I think I've said this to you many times, I don't believe in creating problems that don't exist. Haven't I said this many times? That's how I try to live my life. To not create problems, because I realize this. Life will throw enough problems at us. I survived suicide attempts. I've battled depression, anxiety, panic attacks my whole life. I think that's plenty. I've lost my parents. I lost my cousin, my uncle, grandmothers, aunts, uncles. I think those problems are enough. I think financial problems are enough. Health issues are enough. I went through another situation many years ago. While battling depression, I had to be medicated at the time. When my youngest daughter was a little girl, she was in an accident and she was in the hospital. And I had to look at her in a coma, look at her mother holding her hand and crying, and having a doctor pull me aside and saying, we're doing everything we can, we don't know if she'll survive. I experienced that as well.
And now she's a lawyer in a big law firm.
Now she's an attorney, she's fine. But I know what that was like to go through that. So what I'm saying is, life throws enough problems at us that we have no control over whatsoever. It's life, illness, debt, all family, children that are ill, or a spouse that's ill, or it's enough. So one thing you can do to help someone you care about that's battling depression or any illness, of course we talk about this, is to not create more havoc in their lives, because enough is enough already. Get them help. They may say no. It's a good chance, because a lot of people do. They say, I don't need it, I don't want it. And when you see them, as I remember, to where they look like, wow, they just seem so okay now. You keep an eye on them, because that's what happened to me. I was okay, but I wasn't. I made a decision, and I was relieved. It's a wrong decision.
Oh, yeah.
But I was relieved that I decided to have an out, to end everything. So you keep an eye on them. I have always said that, I want to reach people that are battling depression. But I've always said this too, I want to reach family and friends of those people, so they hear it from someone else, because they may not be hearing any of this from their child or from their spouse or from their friend, because they zip up. Some people are embarrassed. Some people just don't care anymore. They've lost the ability to care. They just don't care about themselves anymore. So I just plead with you to, reach out, be there for someone, and if you find yourself in this situation, Suicide hotline now is, I'm sure most people know, is 988. So don't be afraid to call 988 if you find yourself feeling like this. Because there's help, and you know what? We can work so hard at so many things that are so irrelevant. You know? You staring at John?
Yeah, he's sick as a dog.
We're going to keep this short before John drops. Because we're not going to touch him. We're going to leave him there until he heals. We'll throw a blanket over him.
We need a beer.
Yeah, that's
That's not what you need.
You don't need that.
You need to go to the doctor.
So, folks, I also want to say that if anyone wants to email us, or if in a future podcast you'd like to participate from the comfort of your own home, participate in the podcast, shoot us an email. What's the best one? Contact at depression-youarenot-alone.net.
Go on the website.
.youarenot-alone.net. You can go to our website and shoot us an email.
Right, is it .com or .net?
The email is .net.
All right.
The website is depression-youarenot-alone.com. And also, if you want to share your stories, someone you know or of yourself, whether you're going through this now or you've been battling this and what's worked for you, what's helped you, to share that with others as well. And
if you want to write something,
or if you want to write
post on the website.
You can write your story and post on the website. It's free. We'd be happy to post it, because us sharing our experiences can help another person, and that's all that matters. You don't have to put your name on the article if you don't want. Just your first name and the last initial or something. If you don't, whatever works for you. But I'm pleading that you reach out and help someone. Like I said, I'm doing this. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I know what I've been through, but I'm still here doing it. Not for me. Didn't want to. But I felt I had to, especially because this is what we're supposed to be doing. And John's not feeling good either, but in a different way. So we're going to go for now. John's going to go to the clinic. We're going to decontaminate the house.
I have to go to the store.
But again, I want to say this. If you want to participate in any future podcasts, shoot us an email, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home and be on a video with us. All right, so
Thanks for watching.
I apologize for being a little down, a little tired, but it is what it is, and just want to tell everyone to be well, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.